Yes, Mr. Bigley. You rang your buzzer. Can I help you?
No. It wasn't my father who called. It was me.
Oh, okay. How can I help you?
Well, you can help by telling me why my father is still in his bed when he should be having his operation right now. I'm sick of this. You people are useless. How difficult is it to take an old man to his operation on time?
I can see that you're very upset. Before we talk about it, I need to check with your father that it's okay with him for me to discuss this with you.
What do you mean? That just sounds like another delaying tactic to me.
Yes. I know it must seem like that, but it's important to make sure that your father gives permission for us to discuss his treatment. I'm sure you can understand that he has the right to agree or not to having his treatment discussed.
Oh. Well. I suppose I understand. Dad. You don't mind if I talk to the nurse about your operation, do you?
No, I don't mind if Sally talks to you.
Thanks, Mr. Bigley. It would help if I understood a bit more about the problem. Can you tell me a bit more about why you are upset?
Well, thank goodness. Finally someone is asking. I've been here with Dad for hours just sitting and waiting. He was supposed to go for his operation at 10 o'clock. He hasn't had a thing to eat or drink since yesterday. Someone just said he couldn't go for the operation yet, but didn't tell us why. Now we don't have any idea when or if he'll have his operation. If it goes on too much longer, I'm going to take him home. It can't be worse than being here. I'm sick of the way you get treated here. No one tells you anything.
I can see why you must be very frustrated by all this. If I've understood you correctly, you are frustrated about the delay in the operation and feel that you haven't been kept informed of the reasons for the delay and when your father is likely to have his operation. Is that right?
Yes. That's about it. No one has bothered to tell my father anything. They've just left him here, starving and waiting for an operation that might never happen. It's not right, doing that to an old man.
It does seem very harsh when you haven't had a drink all night and are probably very hungry. I can help you out with that. After we've had our chat, Mr. Bigley, you can rinse your mouth out with a small amount of water, as long as you don't swallow any.
That sounds wonderful.
Well, that's all very well and good, but what about the rest of the problems?
I know that the time for your operation was supposed to be 10 o'clock. I've just checked with theaters to find out the reason for the delay. Apparently the patient who was first on the list before your father had a few difficulties after his operation. It has taken a bit of time to stabilize his vomiting.
That's not my father's fault. Why should he have to wait?
Come on, Sally. These things happen.
No, Dad. These things don't just happen. They should know about these things and fix them.
I can understand you're feeling that way. Unfortunately, this was the first anesthetic the patient has ever had before, so no one knew how he would react. The staff in recovery think that he should be all right soon. So your father will be able to go for his operation.
Sounds like a cover-up. Dad. I think you should come home with me. I don't believe them at all.
Oh, I don't know about that, Sally.
I know that it is hard when you have to wait so long. But it is very important that you have your operation.
Well, I'm not so sure. If it was so important, you'd have made sure he had the operation on time.
I agree that treatment schedules don't always go to plan, but it really is very important that your father stays in hospital. Would you be willing to wait a bit longer before you make the decision to take your father home or not?
I don't know. Dad. Shouldn't have to wait around forever.
I understand what you are saying. If I keep you up to date with what's happening, would you be willing to wait a bit longer?
I guess so. As long as we know what's going on.
Yes. I'll make sure that I tell you how long your father will be waiting.
Thank you, nurse. I would appreciate that.